We'll see. We'll see who Colby fights. Dude, that guy, him and Usman are the biggest mysteries to me.
Now, here's the crazy thing too, and I know this is one of our topics. Vincent Luque is about to fight Nate, right?
Nick.
I'm sorry, Nick. So Vincent Luque too is kind of like becoming a gatekeeper as well.
Yeah. Although he's fighting Nick, who's, that's not really a gatekeeper fight. That's like, they're giving him that's a good fight. Anyway, about that, should we go into that one?
Yeah. Well, you went viral, bro.
Yeah, that one went crazy.
That shit was like, how did you even hear about that? How did you even
like 12 million? Shout out.
My guy, 12 milli?
Yeah, hey,
12 milli.
I'll give a shout out to one of my boys.
Yeah, how'd you get? Yeah, what's the juice on this?
Cosmic MMA.
Okay. Shout out to Cosmic MMA.
He actually posted it on Instagram first.
Okay. Yeah,
he lives nearby too. He's a SoCal boy too.
Oh, that's a homie then.
Yeah, we just know each other. I seen him like post on his story one time, like him like hitting the bag or something, and like in Long Beach or some shit. So I DM'd him and I'm like, "Oh, you live that close to me?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, I'm over here in OC." So he always posts good shit, but he's not really news. He's like memes, funny shit, but like he ends up posting a lot of good content, like low key.
But how did he find it then? Did he say?
So I didn't speak to him directly. I just saw he posted it. So then I went and searched it up on Twitter. And like basically the story for me is when I went up on there on Twitter, I just searched Nick Diaz and then a bunch of the videos popped up, but it was like random accounts like commenting it, like saying like Nick Diaz is back. Nick Diaz is back. And I was just like, like I guess it's a story. I guess people are posting about it, but there wasn't like none of the big ones did yet. Like spin a back fist, champ rounds, like
got that juice quick. You got that juice first.
So I was like, yeah, I mean, I gotta post this one. So I posted it and it went like crazy viral. But yeah, I guess none of the big news accounts posted it yet. I guess that was the first one. But it wasn't like I found it out of nowhere. I literally searched Nick Diaz and it was there. It just kind of like went underneath the suggestion feed, if you will.
Yeah, but it goes back to what you said before. It's like we're all kind of covering the same thing, right?
Right.
Like one of us is having some special juice, but sometimes when you word it or the timing can catch fire.
But I think it wasn't popping up in everyone else's feed for some reason. I think the way I worded it or something, something.
Posted on YouTube too?
No, I didn't. This is what I've been waiting for this.
Bro, you should have dropped that on your shorts like that.
Nah.
Oh, you would have got viral on YouTube, bro, too?
They're going to do the same shit. They're going to be a copyright. I'm like, nah.
No, that's different, though. That's different. You're right. You didn't want to chance it.
I'm so done with that.
I would have done that. Next time, you know what? You got to hit me on that juice. I would have dropped that shit so quick.
But you could do other stuff. Like, I should have just done a voiceover.
Hold on. So just see, now we're talking. Hey, so let everybody know the story then, because I was still like trying to figure out everything, like because it looked like it was tweaking and shit.
Nick.
What? What are you doing?
Are you okay?
Who's that for?
Are you all right?
Yes.
So let me lay it out there based on everything I know. I don't want to say his name. Okay. I told you, but he's one of Nick's friends. Basically, let's start from the beginning, right? When I looked at that video, I was very concerned. I posted on my story saying like, I tried so hard to not find anything wrong with this video and find like the innocence and the fun in it. And I couldn't. And the truth is I'm a little bit concerned for Nick, but the fan in me, the one who wants to see the good in him, I just tried so hard to think it was a funny video. I tried to, but I couldn't. And so anyway, with that being said, I did get concerned, but it turns out, I believe that I think he was just on some type of shroom trip.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'd give him that, actually. I would give him that.
Yeah, because like I said, I tried to find the innocence, and that's the most innocent thing I could find, like as far as like a thought. I feel like he was on a shroom trip. I feel like maybe things did get out of hand in that sense, but who hasn't done that on a shroom trip? That's completely normal.
And when is he supposed to fight? Is the
December 10th, I believe.
It's the UFC 310, okay. Because that press conference would be interesting to.
Yeah, so I got some details as far as like, I've got a lot of people coming at me saying like, you confirmed it, What else did they have to say? Like, just basically saying I didn't confirm it.
That it wasn't him.
That it wasn't him. Now,
And it's not like you said he was over there smoking crack or something.
no, I said he was lighting a piece of grass on fire.
Okay.
Um,
It looked like he was like smoking meth or something. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, bro.
yeah, right. I mean, it didn't look good at first, but it turns out he was probably just on mushrooms. His friend said that, yes, it was Nick. He spoke to him, and Nick admitted to him that it was him.
Okay.
So that's how much I know it. It's not like, oh, like, yes, that was Nick, and I'm his friend, and I'm saying it's him. His friend asked Nick, and Nick said, yeah, that was me, but that video is kind of taken out of context.
And didn't his girl like post something too on her Instagram?
So there's more to it, right? Apparently, Nick is right now currently laid up with another woman who's not his girl.
Oh, no.
And Nick's girl got a little bit mad, I think, and she, for some reason, posted that to her story. That's the word on the street. That's the word I'm getting.
Okay, so he was with another homegirl.
Nick is currently in Vegas, laid up with another girl, training for UFC 310.
And so the other girl's the one that posted that?
And his girlfriend of a long time, of many years, I think has been trying to get in contact with him.
Uh-huh.
And he hasn't been as easily able to get in touch because he's with someone else.
Got you.
And so I think to some degree, she posted this video, no telling when it was. I did that. I slipped up on that. I wasn't able to ask that. But no telling when this video was. But the release of that might have to do with the fact that Nick is currently laid up with another woman right now.
Okay, so it was his current girlfriend that
his current girlfriend that he might be cheating on.
She's the one that posted that.
She posted that because I think she's like upset with him because he's being unfaithful.
So he was out. So she saw him in the street and recorded him. Like, Nick, what?
I'm gonna assume that was her that filmed that video.
Right.
Or she's actually, you know what? He said that he doesn't know like how she got that video, if she has spies or something like that. These are words that he said. So judging off of that, I don't know. He said he doesn't know if she got spies, how she got that video. So I don't really know. Yeah. If she filmed it or not.
Yeah. But
somehow she got that video.
I'll tell you this, bro. If you see a video of me like hunching down in the middle of the night, like with fire, bro, worry about me, please.
Worry about you?
Something went awry. Like something's not lining up.
Yeah. Being out in the street by yourself. That was my thing. To by himself. Maybe he was with homies.
Just the way you do it, like you're all crouched down and shit. Like you look like a tweaker.
With no homies laughing behind you.
Right. Like you by yourself. Right.
It was sad.
Oh, it was sad. Yeah.
Now it turns out he did a lot of shrooms and he kind of like went on his own journey, it seems.
If that's the case, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've gone on my own journeys with like shrooms and shit. So like I get that, but yeah.
Now here's the other thing we got to get into, right? Because why is he on shrooms? Why is he using drugs? I'll say this, and this isn't even really something to get clipped off. I'm just speaking like the truth here.
Okay.
That's not the only stuff that Nick has been, kind of like engaging in, in his personal life. And obviously in a fight camp, he's not doing that. I got confirmation that he's not doing hard drugs, right? But mushrooms and stuff, and he engages in other drugs, right? When he's not in a fight camp. I'm just going to say that,
Okay.
he does what what comes across, but here's the thing. Here's why.
Yayo?
I don't want to say.
Okay.
But he does because what I'm trying to say is there's mushrooms and there's weed, and those are kind of innocent, right?
Can be.
But then when you go into some pharmaceuticals,
Sure.
some other ones, right?
You go into another level.
So sometimes he does dabble in that other level.
Okay.
But the thing is that, Nick is kind of struggling, right? Just like all these other fighters that you've read their testimonies with, the life of being a fighter. He's struggling with probably his mind and his body. And so I think a lot of times he's resorting to drugs and stuff like that to kind of like help his mind personally,
He's almost 40. Yeah.
And you see that with these guys like, Shane Carwin and all these guys who we've talked about before with the CTE stuff again. But I'm just relaying it out there that, Nick, I heard that he is taking like other drugs too at times. Mm-hmm. And, to some degree that has to do with the traumas of fighting and trying to cope with it, and not really having a lot of, I think, like health insurance and stuff.
And these aren't like, he was at a party and he did some drugs. This is more like, hey, dude, like he's fucking trying to cope with life and shit.
I think so. I think he does drugs to cope.
He's trying to numb whatever he's going through. To not
when he's out partying,
Because I mean, those are two different conversations, right? If he's out partying, chilling with homies, you happen to do, a bump or something. I'm not, whatever, do you know what I mean? But if it's like, to stay functional and become an addict and fucking like,
I don't think it's to stay functional. I think it's more so with the homies.
Okay.
But I think that like it's more frequent than you'd probably want for him. And I think it has to do with the fact that, these guys struggle with things that we could never comprehend. Like, who knows how he's feeling in his mind? But just try to take yourself there to some degree and think about all the punches he's taken and stuff, and with his mind and stuff. You can't blame these guys for maybe wanting to try drugs and to get them out of that sober feeling, because who knows what that feels like for them. I want to smoke weed to get out of that sober feeling, and I've never been punched in the fucking head. Some people drink to get out of that sober feeling, and they've never been punched in the head. So I'm just saying, you gotta like care for these guys, and when you see them, I'm saying that to say, like, when you see him doing shrooms and stuff, don't really judge him even, like, because these guys are like, they go through so much, you could never imagine what goes through their mind and the pain they might suffer.
Well, look at, bro, like, I mean, all cards on the table. I'm an addict, you know what I mean? Like, so I understand exactly what you're talking about. Alcohol, I've been down that road and shit.
Right.
It's a slippery slope. Very slippery slope. You know what I mean? One of the homies here at the station and shit, he passed away because he overdosed. So I know exactly what we're talking about when it comes to stuff like this. And so, if he's doing it to cope and it's an addiction, that's a whole different conversation. He's doing it because he's this, party favors and he's out with the boys and shit. All right, whatever, But that look isn't good, because if you took 1 and 1 together, it's not 11, it's 2.
I hear you. It is party favors, I feel like. But at the same time, I feel like he wouldn't even be doing that if he was like solid in the head,
I mean, I guess maybe then I'm not solid in the head either, because I mean, I would do it.
I guess I haven't like revealed what like I heard he might be taking on the side. But
right, there's
for
levels.
example, I don't think Nate is out here doing some crazy hard drugs. I think Nate just sticks to the weed and the shrooms.
Right.
I think that Nick dabbles a little bit more hardcore because he's struggling a little bit more.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately. But hey, that's with everyone. I've had homies who have more pain, in their life, and they're more down to try whatever. It's a personality thing, I think, to some degree.
Yeah, and like I said, it goes back to as well, like if you're taking substances and it's leading to an addiction, and you're doing it behind closed doors, and you're getting caught in situations where you're out and about and fucking look like you're down on the fucking floor like you're tweaking, there's something going on.
Well, devil's advocate, his girlfriend said like addiction will eventually take you out. So I'm over here trying to say like I don't really think Nick is addicted. I think it's more so party favors, but he just kicks it with the boys all the time. So I mean, party favors, all the boys don't have jobs, you're doing it like 5 nights a week. So call it out what you want to call that.
Idle hands.
What does that mean?
Idle hands is mean like, when you're just chilling at home and you're doing nothing, and you're like, the boy calls you, your boy keep calling you like, hey, let's go out. All right, let's go.
I think that's pretty much Nick's life outside of fighting.
Let's go. Like, you don't keep yourself busy doing something positive and constructive, you start hearing the devil a little bit. Idle hands.
So, I'm saying party favors, but I guess full disclosure, party favors could mean up to 7 days a week because he's always kicking it with the boys.
That's a whole different story. See what I'm saying?
Again, I don't think he's like addicted, but it's a weird, you're blurring the lines.
Oh, big time, bro, because it becomes an addiction without you even knowing it. Now all of a sudden, it's like, I couldn't even, I can tell you countless stories, but we won't even get into that.
Right. But with that all said, I did ask, I said, should we be worried about Nick? Like, is he crashing out? I said this like pretty much verbatim. I said, is Nick crashing out because the Vicente Luque fight got booked and like he's just can't handle fighting anymore? Like, is that what it is? Like, he just can't handle the pressures of it. It's too much for him, like throughout his whole life.
I was surprised when they announced that fight, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but his friend said that no, he's not too pressured. He's not crashing out. He's excited, not excited because that's not a word Nick uses, but he's training hard for the fight and he's motivated for the fight and he's like healthy for it.
Yeah.
So, that's the word on the street. That's all I can really say, They don't really give me too much info other than that.
Want to keep some things hush with what the whole picture looked like.
But he's like staying at a fighter house right now, I think, with a couple other guys at the moment in Vegas. So that's currently where Nick's at.
We'll see how UFC 310 press conference looks.
The thing too for me is like, I wonder what's up with Nick and Nate. I have a suspicion that Nick and Nate aren't exactly on the super best terms. You talk about how Nick's also like going through it with his girl, maybe like cheating on his girl or whatever. Who knows, like, if Nate doesn't want to get involved with some of that stuff, or if it's blurring lines, But,
I mean, brothers, right?
Brother, that all could be in play. But it seems like Nick and Nate aren't
I got
really.
my own shit with my own brother, bro. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but this is the fight game. These guys are like, supposed to always be tied in.
Yeah, but I mean, life's life.
It just sucks when you don't see Nate around him, right now.
I mean, you guys, I got my own issue with my own brother. Like, it's like when I see you, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have to let you do you.
That's life. But hopefully, with that said, hopefully Nate will show up to the fight, though. Hopefully Nate could be there.
Well, and I'm even interested too because on that same card, man, Shavkat still doesn't have a fight. I don't think what's his name, Asakura and Pantoja are gonna be the main fight here. So what's crazy? Last time we talked about something like this, Dana White dropped it on a Thursday. I think he's gonna drop something tomorrow.
Maybe.
I know. That's what happened last time when we were talking about this
with the Buckley Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the next day, then they fucking announced it.
Probably Usman. That's my guess.
I mean, who else who else can it be at this point?
Probably Usman. Usman left Florida and he's in Colorado now, so I'm sure it's gonna be him. How much does that suck though? The fact that you were the champ at Killcliff, right? Shavkat comes there, and Shavkat's now training there. And as soon as the fight gets like rumored that they're gonna fight, you have to leave your own gym that Shavkat's training at. Wild shit.
Hey, you're gonna gotta pick sides.
But for Henry Hooft and them, shit, ain't no loyalty there.
Well, it's like, who are you gonna put your money behind? What horse are you gonna ride?
Well, keep in mind also, I don't know if you forget, but when Kamaru Usman fought Gilbert Burns, they both trained at the same gym, and Killcliff sided with Gilbert over Kamaru.
Interesting.
Or Kamaru left, so make that what you might want to make of it. Yeah.
And didn't Kamaru win though?
He won, and then he's always kind of like done his main camps over in Colorado, but in the off season he comes back to Florida because his daughter.
Find out he's in Colorado.
What?
Did you find out he was in Colorado?
I checked his story, and there's like snow and shit.
Oh, little detective. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking first thing in the morning, Kamaru Usman's story.
That's snow.
You live in Florida, right? Nah, not right now.
Oh, look a little cold there. You got a jacket on?
And that just like confirmed my suspicions because I was like, bro, Kamaru and Shavkat are training at the same gym. They can't fight.
Mm-hmm.
But then instantly Kamaru goes to Colorado, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna fight.